Hello everyone and welcome to Jess Plays Birthday Code. It's time for me to uh pick back up with this game. As soon as I, you know, am now that I got that going on. I thought I was gonna make it through this intro with no problem, and yet here we are. Here we are. What am I? Not a miserable pile of mistakes. Alright, so anyway, we are going to go ahead and spy on somebody. I went back and I looked, and it looks like Superbia wins um, in terms of want to spy on. And I think that's probably a good choice. I suspect that we probably can't spy on her for some reason, but just in case, it's always good to try. But yeah, I think that I remember what's going on in this game. And essentially what has just happened is Superbia has just fucking straight up killed a couple of people with a gun. And she's like, oh, this is how you unload it. You can either take the bullets out from the chamber, and then like there's like this whole scene, and then she shoots fucking Gula, and is like, or you can finish it that way. Also, since we're probably not going to be seeing Gula, rip, in this video, well, I don't know, maybe I could have to go back at some point, but since we're probably not going to see her in this video today, I wanted to bring this up. I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV. That's kind of why a lot of the videos from YouTube have fallen behind, because I've been trying to catch up to everybody and get to endgame content. So I'm finally on Shadowbringers now, so I finally have a little bit of room to breathe. Also, I hit 80 my Dragoon, so, you know, I have a little bit of breathing room again. But, basically, I've been playing a lot of it, and I had this horrible realization the other day after I woke up from the stream that I was like, oh no, Gula and Urianger have the same character quirk, and I just found that really fucking. So I hope you guys enjoyed that too. Alright, Superbia! Go see what you. Oh, okay, I'm actually gonna get the puzzle. Yeah, baby, let's solve the puzzle! I'm still confused about what the cool S is supposed to. Tear apart rabbit and rabbit. I wonder if I just have to put in. Probably not. Yeah, okay. Tear apart rabbit. I apologize about this. I've been having to stay pretty late at work. I've been leaving at like 8:39 every night recently. You know, just because there's like a bunch of stuff to do. We're getting into busy season, and that's kind of when we get around to a lot of the things that can only be done by people at a certain level of seniority, which, guess who's at that level of seniority? And it's like me and like one other guy, and so we have a lot of stuff that we kind of have to take care of that our assistants and stuff can't. So we've been spending a lot of at the office. I was also talking to my coworker who's at the same like level of seniority as me, and recently got his daughter as a birthday gift a Wacom 1 tablet, screen tablet. She likes doing art and is pretty good at doing art and stuff, and so she had asked for that because a lot of friends had. It's just really funny because I asked him today. I was like, "Oh yeah, how's your daughter enjoying her tablet and stuff?" He's like, "Well, I taught her how to, you know, put drawings on her phone so she can share them online with her friends and stuff. So that's what she's been doing." And then, and then he's like, "Ugh, she can draw better than me now." And I didn't realize that this particular coworker like had any artistic talent. And I was like, wait, was that not always the case? And he was so upset. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way. Not every puzzle with letters is an anagram. Yeah, well, I'm not assuming it's an anagram. I was just trying to separate separate the letters themselves. Although, I guess L and O. Nope. My brain is not processing this. Unless this is supposed to be like... wait. Hmm. Hmm. Enough. Zebra and Obit. Bito. Yeah, I thought that's what I was doing. I was putting... It's like you can't have any letters that would normally be next to each other. These hints are not really like... I feel like I... And... L... Lion... Okay. Rabbit has two B's, and I want the B to not be next to it, right? And the I is tricky because that's it. Oh. Okay, the idea that I had in my head is... Huh. Think of... Guys, Maybe this... Um... This back in... Like, I assumed what it wanted me to do is intersperse the letters. I did. It's gotta be something else, right? I have to keep them in order? Maybe? Sure. R-A-B. R... Is that it? Yeah, I have to keep them in. Oh, alright. You had to keep them in order. That's what it was. I hate it when I know what the puzzle wants me to do, but, like, there's some other factor to it that I don't get. Superbia was walking away from the stairs, down from the middle of the crossroads. Her shoes made a few taps on the ground, which resonated with the otherwise empty area. Soon enough, that silence was broken again by Tricia joining her for a chat. It was immediately obvious that Superbia was not very pleased by his presence. About earlier. What about earlier? Someone died and it bought us time, so be thankful. You don't understand. He killed someone just now, and we didn't have any idea of their crime or whatever they had to do with this place. You have to make sure that those who die are the right ones. And who put you in charge exactly? Look, I really don't like being told what to do. I'm gonna do things my way, and if you get in it, you're out too. Is that a threat? What would change if it was? I can already tell you want to take control of this game. I'm not gonna stand for it, that's for sure. You think you can lord over me, you can go right to hell. Just want to keep playing field leveled. I accidentally a word, sorry. And besides, you think this is a game? I already kept the playing field leveled, since the bullets are of no consequence anymore, and yes, I think it's very much a game. That idiot told us we're playing Kill Me, whatever the hell that is. He didn't level the playing field at all. It just means the only one who can shoot is you and no one else. Even if you don't have the gun, you already showed you can just take it away. And aggravated, Superbia gave him the old talk to the hand gesture. Oh, damn. I don't care, so keep your observations to yourself. See you around. Or not. Just like that, she left him, walking away with no intention to come back and speak to him again. Superbia very quickly hounded the console, aggressively sighing to herself. What an idiot. Most importantly, I have to finish setting this up. Thought he might see it my way, but... She grumbled a little while rummaging on the consoles. He was messing with the portrait, which she'd apparently been doing before, business which, for whatever reason, she'd paused to look around. Now, her hands plucked one portrait after the other. So, she noticed the portraits can be messed with. That's pretty bad, but at least we're in the clear about who's doing this. I wonder whose portraits she's switching around. First one was her own. Superbia was acutely aware that she was the target for the next vote, how dangerous it was. That meant she had to switch them to ensure she'd vote for her, but not really for her. Oh. The second portrait was Ancora's. Switched the two of them so that the consoles had Ancora's face over Superbia's button, and vice versa for the other. Seems like really shoddy design. That's pretty smart, not gonna lie. Too bad I can spy on her, and now I'm onto her little trick. Wonder when it was that she learned those portraits aren't set in stone. I didn't really have much of a choice anyway. It's not like I could have done it any differently. Not only would it require more resources, but I'm unable to grab them. Nothing much of note happened otherwise. Superbia ended up only messing with the ones related to her or Ancora. After a short while, her vision caught on to Nvidia and Tricia walking into Wing A, splitting up at the entrance. Uh-oh. Can't see much of what they're doing now. Superbia is staying in the voting room, no doubt. Can't exactly hack another helmet to check, so... Probably safer to cut the connection so that I can be there when Tricia eventually comes by. It's especially bad because I haven't seen Avaricia or Nita, too. It's like before, the connection to Superbia's helmet was cut off, to bring back Ancora's view of the hallway. However, Ancora's helmet no longer displayed anything this time. as if something happened to knock it off. There were no sounds or any visuals to be heard or seen, respectively. Well, it should have been showing everything from the helmet's point of view. Things wrong. It can only happen if someone forcibly knocks it offline. That means someone bashed the helmet, caused the resonance effect strongly enough. Why did I not feel any of it? Then, does this mean Avaricia or Ira did something? Eventually, the helmet rebooted, where his vision became filled with Justicia holding her to help her back on her feet. Was it him? Could it be that he closed the distance this quickly and knocked out the helmet in the time it was taking me to have the connection back? Are you okay? Cora harbored this strange feeling that perhaps it had been his fault. He acted surprised when he was holding her, only to pull away from him after a few seconds. Fine, don't worry over me. Hey, wait up. You have to meet with the group. Go in there, it's fine. Rugging the light dizziness she was feeling as a result of the altercation, Ancora put as much distance between them as she could, making a beeline for the voting council. Surely they would all gather to do the vote soon. It was 20 minutes past the hour, so they still had 40 minutes, but there was nothing to do until then except vote. I can't shake this feeling that someone did something I wasn't aware of during the part. Something's missing. It's like running into a wall head first, with your eyes closed. Are you not looking out of your own helmet and you're looking out of someone else's? Not good. On the way to the staircase to the voting consoles, Ancora passed by Avaricia and Ira. She didn't outwardly acknowledge their presence, instead acting like she was in a hurry to go meet with the others at the crossroads. Why are they still in this wing? Only explanation for Avaricia, she's taken the meat card that belonged to Gula. Ira doesn't have anything to do here. Unless he was there to keep everyone distracted from what she was doing. I know she switched the portraits. Definitely have to bring that up later. Ancora hesitated as those thoughts went through her head. There was an even bigger problem at hand, and there was no way to deduce it given the puzzle piece of information she had. The bigger problem is, who knocked me offline? All of these details will have to be shared for the vote. Probably safer to talk about it when they're physically incapable of movement in front of the shotguns. She arrived at the staircase leading up to the crossroads. Vidya approached her, closing in on her from the entrance to the first hallway. Oh, there you are. Tristan and me were looking everywhere for you. I mean, Tristan, I. No, it was me, not you. I mean what I said. Just saying it's incorrect to say them and me like that. Besides, you could just say we. Hey, who cares if it's correct or not? You a teacher or something? Besides, it doesn't really matter. Just forget it. What's important is that we're going to take another vote very soon, so be ready with it. Yeah, I know. I'm heading there. The conversation came to a bit of a standstill. Vidya was clearly hesitating. The exact nature of the reason behind that hesitation was lost on Ancora. Was it because of her loopy episode earlier? If she wanted to get anything out of him, she'd have to take the first step. What would he answer? Ancora knew what she wanted to talk about. Without much hesitation on her end, she spoke, forthcoming about her incident. Someone assaulted me. Didn't see who it was. Is that so? Assault, like, punched you? I was struck from behind. Passed out for a few minutes not long ago. It's probably this helmet that caused me to lose consciousness. You know, how he accidentally hit her ear of her helmet on the doorframe earlier? Screamed bloody murder. Imagine that, but from a direct hit. I wasn't around back there, so I can't say who attacked you. Do you have any suspects? I'm more open to talk about it now. That act out of concern for her calmed him. Came out of the first hallway, so it sounds like it wasn't you. Chris found me and he helped me back up, so maybe it was him. Can't rule out that possibility. Otherwise, Ira and Ava were both in Wing A too. There's Bia. Oh, it can't be Bia. She's been around here this whole time, as far as I'm aware. But you went into the hallway, didn't you? Might have missed her slipping by you. Just went to Wing A, and then when we split up. If she did, he'd have run into her, I think. Or couldn't be sure now. Superbia definitely could have had a hand in doing something bad. Justicia didn't run into her. Alright, let's eliminate Superbia from the suspects then. That would be great, yeah. They've been so engrossed in their talk that they didn't notice the bunny girl coming by. She walked down the stairs to join them, with a slightly irate tone. Are we gonna vote now? Look, time's ticking, and I've not reached the next set of rooms yet. 3 already died, so you're got a 50% chance of coming out of it alive, too. Would it hurt you to be a little more sensitive sometimes? Nobody likes a giant bitch. I like a giant fish. Speak for yourself, in pity. In fiction. I don't like him in real life. Something's not quite right. Generally speaking, Superbia is a giant bitch, fine. She's very forthcoming now. I mean, more than usual. Definitely up to something. Superbia shook her head and clicked her tongue, annoyed. Just come up here. It's not magic, it's just a few stairs. Looking behind herself, Ancora noticed the rest of the group closing in. She decided to walk up the stairs before they caught up with the trio already in the crossroads. Contrary to what one might think, nothing special happened as the group acknowledged everyone else and stepped forward for the vote. Ancora took her spot in the front of the booth with the shotgun designated for her. All cards were swiped. All helmets were affixed. At that moment, no one could move anymore. Based on what I saw, it's obvious Superbia is the culprit, but we can't get anyone to vote for her. They're going to kill the wrong person altogether. We already were all in agreement. Only Ancora's voice rose to interrupt the flow going Superbia's way. Stop! No, we can't vote for Superbia. What's this all about? Another one of your insights? You're defending her? We already made up our minds, so voters shut up. Now Ira is defending the choice too, but isn't he close to Superbia? No way. You're voting for her, you're going to kill me. I saw her change the portraits around. You can switch them, see? As if to prove that fact, Ancora lifted her own portrait from the console. Then she put it back where it was. And each portrait can fit into any other socket. Don't you remember their layout from the first round and how some of them moved? Now that you mention it, sorted in an interesting way. On the left, it's mostly made of herbivores. In the middle, we've got omnivores. On the right, we have carnivores. You're completely correct. Thea's portrait moved from the herbivores over to the omnivores. And Cora's portrait from the herbivore area moved over to the herbivore area despite it being a bear. Whatever then, if you want to believe that and vote for Cora, be my guest. Won't have her death on my mind then. Like you have anyone's death on your mind. You killed Ula without a second thought. And nobody's dead for this hour slice yet. Mission accomplished, I think. We all survived that hour. It doesn't even make you nervous, huh? The fact that we're going to vote for me? And no, not at all. Slight hesitation was telling. So what do we do now? Instead of telling Superbia she was full of shit, Avaricia decided to change the subject back to voting, which they needed to do before the discussion turned to a half-hour-long waste of time. I don't think we have much of a choice. We have to vote for Cora. Isn't that dangerous? What if we really do get her? I'm okay with it. I trust in this. You should too. I'd rather trust Cora if I had to pick between her and Bia, to be perfectly honest.
Wait, I changed my mind. I think someone else is going on.
Sorry, but my vote's already in. Do or die. Superbia clicked her tongue in an annoyed tone.
Look, you can't vote for me. I mean, Cora.
But she had already put her vote in for herself. Numerous slip-ups, as well as her insistence on having the group vote for her, only fanned the flames of doubt, even for Ira.
Goodbye, then, Bia. And honestly, good riddance.
Cora put in her vote as well. Do I have to vote for herself? Screens above the voting consoles settled into Superbia's symbol. It was clear what was to follow was her execution. Every shotgun but the victims released their hold, leaving the participants to witness the macabre outcome. Only a moment for the gunshot to come. It sounded like it had shot Superbia at point-blank range, but in reality there were no bullet holes in the helmet she wore. Time slowed down. Eventually, everything froze. Rabbit seed. There you are.
Fucking dead, aren't I?
It would seem so, yeah.
Fuck.
No need to swear now. It's over. All of it, that is. All your life, your work, and your hopes.
Sounds to me like something I'd want to swear about.
Meaningless. Won't bring them back. It's also not going to bring you back alive. It's over, so please accept it.
Fine, I'll accept it. Can't be over that quickly, though, can it?
Not just yet. We have some time still. First of all, you know your name?
No. Whatever I'm thinking about can't be it.
Name's Annie Sansusi.
Sansusi. What about my family? They're dead too?
Sorry, can't say that.
Why not if it doesn't matter? Just fucking say it already.
Swearing at me won't make me say it. Just can't because I know it, yet I can't say it. Something's stopping me.
Whatever. My name's Annie, huh?
Yeah. In life you were a real bitch.
I'll punch you in the fucking face.
Just saying it how it is. Besides, you can't deny that. You did some really bad stuff, but I can't say that either.
What's with all the secrecy?
Piecing it together is part of the process. Can't just give the answer. Not here. That must be annoying to you, but it's just how it is.
I think I'd have a right to know this kind of shit.
Fortunately, the dead have no rights. They only have lefts.
That's your idea of a joke?
No, I mean that they leave things behind. What did you leave behind, Annie?
A fortune, I guess? I remember being rich.
No, you weren't rich. Parents were. Realized you weren't rich, and your control was lessened. You took things from others. I'll just leave it at that.
Guess you were right. Real bitch. Too late to change now. Besides, I don't wanna.
I didn't think you would. Our time is coming to an end.
What do you mean, our time? Are you dead too?
Not yet. Eventually. Probably. Either way, what are your final words?
Wish I could tell my parents that I'm sorry. For God, why do you exist? Why do atrocities exist in your name?
Dust to dust, ashes to ashes. Surrendered your right to live. Now carry your memory.
Sure, whatever.
Kirby is such a... On the floor was a dead body, much like the one before. Neither of them had been cleaned up yet. One of them was fresher than the other. Bunny's immobile body remained flat on the ground. Only she would simply be beheaded. A pool of blood would grow underneath her body. That would be it. However, much like in Luxuria's case, a grimmer fate awaited her. Much like in Luxuria's case, the helmet exploded. He didn't carry anything interesting, and everyone was repulsed by the sight of a dead body, so no one approached her. Instead, everyone gathered at a respectable distance from it in silence. Well, that's dealt with. A single thought went through Ancora's head. Before she said anything, someone else did. This is where you end up, huh? Not really surprised. I wasn't speaking to anybody in particular. It seemed as though he was talking to himself. No longer wishing to see the dead body, everyone split up. It's clear that this outcome was coming, yet no one really wanted to talk or celebrate. Except Ira. He didn't leave. Ancora remained close by as the others left their vicinity. She didn't mean to eavesdrop. It just happened on its own anyway. Just stop trying to do this shit. You wouldn't be lying dead on the floor. What did I do everything for now? That you're dead. That stuff I helped for? The boy slowly fell down to his knees, still intently watching the body. Ancora felt more and more awkward. Though perhaps she should leave them alone. No. I have to find out who the traitor is. There was a chance it was Superbia. Or his words could help. Curiosity took over her feeling of awkwardness. She remained, making herself smaller by nonchalantly walking to a nearby wall and leaning against it. I knew I shouldn't have done any of it. And not like I had a choice. Stupid. I was stupid, and you were stupid too. Punched against the floor, not too far from her body. It was almost like he was sobbing in his helmet. Very quickly, he quieted himself again, clearing his throat. I can't even blame anyone for killing you, too. It would be way too fucking easy, huh? But you chose this by doing all that stupid shit. This is all about choice, isn't it? You could choose, but I couldn't. Can't choose. I can't ever choose. It's always just your choice. It's always just what matters to you. What then? What if I had chosen? Maybe you wouldn't be dead there. And then you'd have seen, when I make my own choice, it's not because I want to take control, goddammit. It's because I want to help you help others. Really, you didn't care about my help, huh? Maybe I was just blind. I should make my own fucking choices now. I never wanted a leader, I just wanted you. Another punch on the ground. Strong enough to cause the room to shake a little. Ancora could see he was well built. This much? He stood up. Ancora recoiled, trying to hide herself against the corner. Now that he was back up, what if he decided she was a threat? It was his choice now. Gloom realization set in. He hadn't been doing much because he was leaving it to Superbia. Now she wasn't here anymore. But he didn't come toward her at all. In fact, he staggered toward the staircase, his arms moving back and forth slowly under him, though he were a zombie. Did that say legs? Perhaps he was one now. Cautiously, Ancora closed the distance again. Going to tail him a little, see what he'd do. Everyone else had already left this area and gone to Wing A, presumably to unlock the door and proceed forward. However, after coming down the stairs, Ancora realized he knew she was there. You following me? He asked the words without turning around. When she didn't answer, he faced her again, looking slightly ticked off. At least as much as he could look with that helmet on. You know, Bia really hated you. Yeah, I thought that. Hey, you're not stuttering anymore. Mira chose to ignore the less polite part of that observation. I kept trying to tell her that you weren't that bad as far as we could see yet. She never cared for it. Said you knew too much or something daft such as that. Cora remained silent, curious as to where this was leading. Now, I don't know anymore. Torn, you know? He stepped toward her. She took a reflexive step backwards. Something in her told her she had to run. Move. Go away. Not safe here. Not in his right mind. Anyone would lose their way after something like this. I'm torn because I fucking loved her, you know?
torn because I don't want her to fucking hurt anybody, but she gone and did it. Did it before, did it now, to me, dying like a bitch-ass chump. You know why this happened? Because of you and everyone else. Because everyone here killed her, that I feel that way. So I'm gonna make my own choice. Kept moving toward her. Fortunately, he was much bigger than Ancora. The more she stepped backward, the more she tried to find a way to run around him and rejoin the group. Staying behind had been a bad idea. All she managed to do was trip when she got to the staircase, her ass falling flat onto the cement stairs. Closed the distance rather quickly. I ain't gonna kill you. That's never gonna be me. But I voted for her too. I have no idea what to think about. But getting me to vote for you, you made me vote for her. And an innocent spared. Not an innocent of all things, mind you, but in this case, an innocent. Tell him already. Just say the words. Ancora's mouth felt like lead. No matter how much she tried to articulate a sound, she couldn't oppose him. He was medicine, and she was powerless. She hated that. Hate was beginning to form into some modicum of strength. It was too late already. Just stay here for a while. Stop fucking up the group, doing your hallucinations. A hard punch flew at her, but thankfully she managed to dodge it in extremis by rolling to the side, the stairs digging into her skin and bones. Keeping off, she ran around him. His arm reached out and grabbed her. The lion doesn't let go this easy. You don't run from them. They'll catch up and get you. Just like that, a solid punch landed onto Ancora's helmet. The girl fell to the ground like a marionette without its string. The reverberation caused her to pass out on the spot. Someone was shaking. She could tell. Contact was clear, but she couldn't see anything. Even talking yielded no results. Couldn't even hear her own voice. Maybe she didn't have a voice. Maybe she was still lying in bed. Mother was shaking her to wake her up. She didn't want to wake up. School could wait. She said something else, but she still couldn't hear her own voice. Was she mute? Did her ears not function properly? One hand reached out for the bedsheets to adjust them on her. She had been in a deep, deep dream. Now she had to wake up? Hand shaking her became more insistent. The girl was about to turn over to tell her off, as she always did, but after one arm extended to grab the bedsheets, she noticed something was wrong. First of all, she was asleep alone. Never slept alone. There was always someone else next to her. Who? I'm telling you, the answer's always twins. It's hard to remember. Something else, though. Perhaps the lack of something else? Couldn't grab the bedsheets. Didn't exist. Pain surged through her. She fell before. Her body remembered. She was on the cold, hard ground. Her hand was shaking her to bring her back to reality. Finally, vision and sound returned to her. This was not her bedroom. The woman next to her was not her mother. She was in the school. That accursed school. Laura, are you okay? What you're saying doesn't make any sense. I can't get up. Avaricia helped her back onto her feet. The girl almost immediately fell down again. Her legs were shaking. The older woman supported her, holding her and helping her to walk over to the staircase close by. Cora sat down, regaining her consciousness at an absurdly slow rate. What happened? What time is it? She very quickly panicked. The timer had been ticking down even as she was passed out. It's over. The fight broke out when we were unconscious. Kira died and I ran away. Imagine my surprise when I found you here, out cold on the ground. Details? Do you know about the Tinkerbell effect? It's an expression describing... I'll just let her explain it, I guess. No, I don't. The Tinkerbell effect is named after a famous fairy from a movie made for children, taking from the fact that that her survival, which brought her back to life. I think that's what happened. Huh? I don't follow. Vera believed everyone to be against him, have cost him what he was yearning for the most, made a choice to pursue his agenda. This, in turn, turned everyone against him, and what he believed came true. But beliefs don't work that way. Yeah, but self-fulfilling prophecies do. Sure about that? I can believe all I want that I'm out of here, but it doesn't make me leave this place. Probably not, because your state of being here has already been confirmed. However, the opposite exists too. Reverse Tinkerbell. The more you believe you'll be fine and that everything will work out, the less they will because you'll grow too complacent to act. This is the same thing here. We all believed we'd make it out alive, so now we can't get out alive due to what transpired. Cora slowly stood up and fall back down onto the stairs. Sit down for a few minutes. You're still not quite there. I want to back up. Need to solve the rooms. Timer is ticking. Hour's going away. It's too late now. Instead, I have something much more important to tell you, so please pay attention. Cora couldn't talk back. When Aunt Curiosity's peaked, remembered remained silent. The message from Phoebe, which, as soon as Alvarecia began talking, a loud static was erupted instead. In a severely distorted voice came a strange directive. Hack Gula, hack Gula, hack Gula. Directives, order by table, order by table, order by table. Despite that, she didn't react as if she didn't hear it or even say it. As Alvarecia continued speaking, her head turned to the side. She was looking behind Anne at the top of the stairs. You! What happened in... But she didn't finish her sentence. 2 gunshots rang out, their effect was immediately visible. Alvarecia fell down the stairs and a heap of inevitable followed. An explosion robbed the teacher of her head, knocking Aunt Cora away and back to the ground. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Earlier when Superbia died, you were like, oh, she didn't carry anything interesting on her. She had a fucking gun! In the dust spreading around her, she could barely see anything of the person who had shot Alvarecia. That's obviously gonna be like pissed. A frosty shiver ran up her spine. Shape. That's Hira, isn't it? Isn't he dead? And Cora was shot at that moment. She finally managed to catch a glimpse of her assailant. That wasn't enough to guard her against the real physical bullet boring a hole through her helmet. She then died too, head engulfed in a hot mess of an explosion. Aww. Like when you go down on a girl. All of her senses shut down right as she began. Right as it began, and she wasn't. It doesn't make any sense that Hero would be the one to shoot. He's dead. So what was up with that strange screeching? I couldn't even think while it was going on. Was Hero the one to knock the helmet offline and then snag the gun? It's the only way, which means killing Superbia during the vote triggered him enough to go insane? I don't know. And I'm fading. So, no. I mean, what makes more sense is that Chris knocked you off and then is messing with your helmet so that it looks like it's Ira, but it's actually him. As, oh my god. Now I'm thinking about it, and it's like he's using, like, deep fake. And now I'm thinking about, like, a Tristitia, like, VTuber. Oh, man. It'd be really funny. Let's check our... Where'd we end? But okay. Okay. Majority of them are dead, the remaining survivors bleed the book. What they can do, only for a minute. Could also be that Marco chap who keeps coming up. Part of everyone's thing.
Alright, so I suspect now, I did think that this was originally like the actual ending. I don't think it actually is. To be honest. Honestly don't think it is. Um which back to the alright. Go back. Over here. Really the hmm. So that's let's go here. Serbia first. Uh this just making more work for myself later to fucking edit out all my cutsinger. Oh, I hate myself. Alright, yes. I need to get that's where I need to go. Okay, let's go, I guess. Okay, original plan, we should quick. You just sound a little absent. Is it regarding what Lux said just now? I admit your pondering is now bothering me equally. Cool's sudden intervention surprised Ancora, since the girl momentarily came back to this, making Avaricia wait on her. Justicia hesitated a little while the teacher patiently crossed her arm, apparently glaring daggers at the group. No, not really about Lux. It's about what me said earlier. Something just doesn't quite add up. What is it? I can't say just yet. Might be something big. One of us is definitely the mastermind, so I'm going to speak about it later, after I'm out of the rooms. If I die before then, Edie is the mastermind. What? Sorry, but it's just related to what I'm thinking about. Nothing personal. I'm pretty sure he's just safeguarding himself from dying, because he knows that if it came out that Nvidia was the mastermind, he'd be voted next round. It's just insurance. Oh, that's your choice, I guess. I can't really tell you not to distrust me, given our current situation, but we're also going to be exploring a room together, so we better not fight. How interesting. Bula's interest in the topic struck Ancora as odd once more, but she didn't pursue it. The more she thought about it, the more she figured Bula's words were tinted with sarcasm. Assuming her original interest to her be mentioned, why does Gula have such a interest in Luxuria. Very short while later, Avarishia and Kula disappeared into the room. The leftover group of four went together further down the hall. Vidia and Tristitia would leave for the second room, while Ancora and Luxuria fetched support. Well, we're going in too. Have fun with Bia! Ancora could tell that was sarcasm. With a wave, the two of them vanished inside the room. Ancora tried to stretch her neck over to peek inside, but the door was already shut by the time she had the opportunity to do so. Let's get Bia now. Ancora could also tell that she wasn't too pleased about it. No surprises there. Very few of them were enamored with the bunny girl, if anybody at all. Good reason. Hey. Ooh. I got a message on my phone. Hey. Hmm? Huh? Huh? So, can I finish? Ugh, it's not. Alright. Let's get all the things. Mm. What am I missing? Don't we're here. uh not yet. Fuck. Okay. remember. Guys, I don't remember. I don't remember what I have to do to solve this room. I guess technically all these people are very similar to the Final Fantasy 14 people, and that in English at least they're all fucking voiced by British people. uh remember what I gotta do to solve this. Like I remember the answer. I just don't get where. Oh, there it is. Uh, yes, I gotta go. And I really do wish I could fucking skip this. That should be. Okay. Can I answer? What do I have to do now? Is that everything? All the things? Go answer. Fuck! Oh. I don't remember what the code is. Shit. Uh. I'm not gonna remember this. Before. And I solved it the first one. Huh. Cool. Do it now. You. Thank you. Nothing. I don't know. Sounds like the name of a company. What would Midair Avionics have to do? Also, I don't recall ever hearing of something like that. Maybe it's a prank. Someone sneaked in here and put this up as a joke. The place hasn't been on complete lockdown for a while, so it's possible it has nothing to do with anything. Well, this is as good a spot to spy on other people as can be. Question is, what's available? Huh? Visuals can view when a video is helpful. would there not be a puzzle? What is this? Blank screen? The frequencies match. What does this mean? Maybe out of hacking range. Oh, one problem solved itself. Suddenly, everyone's visions were overtaken by me once again. Apologies for this abrupt fall. It is very important. I must inform you that someone in your group has left the boundaries of the game. This is not currently allowed, so I have both good news and bad news. Which one do you want to hear first? Rhetorical. Everyone always wants to hear the bad news first, especially if they don't relate to them, which is the case here. That way, you can all feel sorry for what happened. And then you can celebrate with the good news. Bad news is that the one who is wearing the helmet that left the boundaries has now been removed from the game. That is right. They have surrendered their right to live. Good news is, since someone has surrendered their right to live before the hour slice was over, well, now you have one more hour before the vote is required. Of course, you can always trigger the vote early. Remember that only 3 of you will not surrender their right to live, so if the survivors number above that count, better get to work. Yet any puzzle door left to solve, however, you'll have to do the vote first anyway. No vote, no progress. I'll see you later. Checking on my... Okay, looks like we're still saved. Alright, cool. And then the screens came back to normal, and Cora shuddered. Well, I know who surrendered their right to live. It's clearly NVIDIA. That's actually a little bad, because he had 2 keys, and he was quite helpful. I guess we can worry over that later. Right now, I need to hack someone, especially because tensions will be at an all-time high due to someone surrendering their right to live. I've decided to hack, so it said hack Gulos. Right after we solve a puzzle! Order by... Okay. Order by... Alright. Not ordering... The table that we're ordering things by is not, is not by alphabetical order. Okay. Order things by... So it's not alphabet. If y equals 30... some math here.
Oh. Wait a minute. Hold on. Table. I need to look up the periodic. Um, Y. Yep, Y is 39. It is. Okay. Alright. So if Y is 30, uh, H first. Oh, jeez. Alright. Boron is gonna come first, I guess, then? E, right? So PC, carbon. Apologize for past. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's next. Um, next would be iodine? Uh, oh, I forgot phosphorus. Sulfur. Whoops. Before test. Uh, uranium. Uranium's gonna always be left. That's not 192, 92. My bad. I'm talking about some crazy isotopic uranium right here. Alright. So U is always gonna be last because it's your right? And the one before that is gonna be iodine, I guess? Right before iodine, whatever it's called. Potassium. That should. And there we go. I had to look up the periodic table. I'm sorry that I just don't know it immediately offhand. Sorry, everyone. I haven't taken chemistry since 10th grade, so bear with me on that. Uh, I did actually really enjoy chemistry, and I had an OC who represented my trainer in my Pokemon Yellow game, and he was supposed to be a genius, so all of his Pokemon were named after elements of the periodic table. And yep, that's a thing. His partner Pikachu is named Uranium. All right. Anyway, earlier I could not help but ascertain your fascination with more deathly elements of life. Gula and Tristitia were sitting together on some benches at the crossroads. After a few more seconds of this awkward silence, Gula had finally broken it, prompting Tristitia to reply, suddenly interested. So, what do you make of that? You seem to have spent a lot of time thinking about it before confronting me on that. Well, to be completely honest, I am entirely unable to understand your macabre interest in the subject of eternal darkness. Excuse you, Gula, that was a fantastic game for the GameCube. And I kind of want to replay it because it was really fun and I liked it a lot. It's one of those games where it's like very broken in a lot of ways, but I have to love it. It's just doing its own thing. Justicia was going to answer, but at the last moment he stood up. Is that why he has little like little like skeletons here? Following him, Gula did much of the same. Two of them began walking around the consoles with no clear goal in particular. Not gonna lie, I don't know. This weird interest of mine, I don't know where it's from. Oh, come on, just fucking own it, Trist. Like, I love macabre
and depressing stuff. You just fucking own it.
I guess a part of me is just unable to stop thinking about life and death.
While Tristisia was talking, Kula wandered around, looking at the equipment. Now that there was no cylinder covering any of it, she was free to examine it without any issue.
Ever wonder what happens to you after you die?
Perhaps, perhaps not. I deduced it won't truly be my concern once I've reached that outcome.
I don't mean just about yourself. The world's a strange place, and so much of it is weird. What if our deaths affected it way more than we originally thought?
I'm afraid you've lost me. Kula was tampering with the portraits on one of the machines. While she spoke with Justicia, her hands were busying themselves, changing the Avaricia portrait with her own. Ah, she figured out that she could change the portraits, didn't she? No, wait. She's doing it her own right off the bat. Someone most likely told her. Who? Justicia was too focused on his semi-monologue to notice what she was doing. He had stopped walking, and he was staring off into a metaphorical abyss.
What is consciousness? What determines what I am? What determines that I am something that sees and thinks? Are my thoughts not just the product of my experiences based on pattern recognition? It's not a question that could really be answered, I think. Life's strange. We exist because the world let us exist? Or does the world exist because we let it exist?
Yeah, and that's the I mean, that's yeah, the world that exists that you experience is ultimately going to be subjective. So there is no such thing as an objective reality, because if there were, and even if there is, it doesn't matter because you can't perceive it in an objective way. Anyway, Descartes.
There are a few different schools of philosophy on the subject of reality. The world exists because we can see it, then doesn't it stand that once we die it stops existing?
Well, I mean, your world stops existing, yes. In a moment of attention, Gula shrugged, before pointing over to the empty spot that once housed Agra's body. Irate entity which once resided in that very location has obtained the status of deceased, and I consider them alive as you and I.
Did their perspective matter? Does yours matter? Mine matter? Who actually is the important life here? Is there even an important life, or does the perception of reality constitute only a baseline element, and none of us actually matter?
The latter. Justicia slid, launching himself into a new monologue where Woola was busy with the consoles. As the horse-masked one spoke, the two of them moved around the room again, switching from console to console. Are you changing all of them to manipulate the vote?
Take a video game, for example. We humans have created video games based on systems that can only exist in reality, then life isn't so different. If we die in a video game, we start back at the beginning.
Depends on the game.
When we die then, does life restart?
I mean, depending on your religion.
I can't think that there's nothing after life. I don't believe in any heaven or hell, but there can't be nothing. How do you feel nothing? How do you see nothing?
I don't know, dude. How did you experience the world before you were born? I don't know.
How is it possible to not perceive exactly? These concepts are so alien to you. All of us are still alive.
I suppose you were not wrong on some level, but determining which elements are falsehoods and visions, while ascertaining the truth, will prove to be more difficult than you can ever imagine. Willa was clearly not paying too much attention, considering the flowery vocabulary she used as part of her normal pattern was just vague enough. Even Tristitia noticed after a moment.
At least it wouldn't kill you to listen to what I'm saying, Ula. Even if you don't believe in any of it, I think it's important to have different opinions on existence.
Very well, in that case. What I believe is that time is a river, always flowing toward the same side. To suggest existence renews itself when some specific cease in their biological activities is preposterous.
And how do you explain existence? How are we all even here? All of us can affect how the flow goes.
Cooler remained silent. At this point, she didn't fiddle with the consoles anymore. Maybe her attention had been taken by being directly involved in the speech this time.
Nobody can answer that question. This is all just a hypothesis, but if I had to guess, someone on the planet had the ability to keep the game rolling.
I mean, yeah, in this case you are correct because you are a character in the game. But, I mean, and I guess what we're trying to get at here is if, say, you, listener, were a character in a game, would you actually perceive that you were a character in a game, or, would you just living in the Matrix and not realize it? And I mean, I would argue that it ultimately doesn't matter.
And the rest? Just non-playable characters or NPCs.
Oh, you heard it here. Trist is part of the alt-right.
They exist, they think, they act, but it's just programmed. They don't actually exist. All of this is a worrying thought.
Based on that sordid thought, you have a much higher chance of being an entity without free will as the odds of not paying in your favor.
Exactly that. Exactly that.
After a short silence, Justicia turned around and began walking toward the meeting spot. Kula took only a few moments before deciding to follow after him. On another subject, who shall we be casting our ballot for?
That's for the group to decide. This time, we're not pressed for time at all. We can easily think about it.
Some of the other 5 voters will possibly organize themselves in a similar way.
Yeah, I've already thought about it. To manipulate the votes, even if everyone was against it. Or maybe some of them lied. Either way, it's dangerous.
Justicia scratched the back of his head, seemingly worried. I believe it originally was Lux's idea. Chris, we should vote for her this time.
We'll see. But I do take this into consideration.
Okay, that's enough info. Time's ticking. Speed cut at that moment, restoring vision to Ancor's helmet. Okay. So, I'm gonna stop there for right now, just because I'm getting real tired. I got work tomorrow. I'm probably gonna post this tomorrow, because, I gotta get some sleep here. So this will go up tomorrow, from when I'm recording this, as opposed to when I'm going to post it, which will be whenever the heck I get home, on Friday. I'll probably get home really late, to be honest, because I have a bunch of stuff I have to do at work, but hey, we shall see. Alright, everybody, thanks for joining us, and, we will continue with this next week. Huzzah! Thanks, everybody. See you later. Birth me code. We're moving along, everybody. Alright, talk to you later. Bye!